They come down, righto, Coke sign, up you go. I want everybody up and down, right along the main straightaway, right in front of the box. We're going through the pits. That's good for the members area and the pits. Now, Terrace, this is your turn. As they come through, right terrace, start to move. And the wave goes right along the terrace, right up into the hill area. Come on, Bay 13. Now, grandstand, this is your chance, and it looks great. The Mexican wave has gone right round Premier Speedway, looked $1 million, and thanks very much for that. As they come down, George Tatnall, Phil March on the front row, Danny Smith right up behind, Gary Rush down the back of the field. Looks great as they come through, and somebody's gone. And I think it's Jamie Moyle. We've had a real accident down the bottom end, and Jamie Moyle's gone over before they even hit the line. We've lost a tyre with Danny Smith. He's got a tyre has gone down. Danny Smith, right-hand rear. Behind, Gary Rush down the back of the field. Looks great as they come through, and somebody's gone. And I think it's Jamie Moyle. We've had a real accident down the bottom end, and Jamie Moyle's gone over before they even hit the line. Very unfortunate. This happens, of course, always when the money comes out. And lots of money on this particular event tonight. Nearly $19,000 prize money on the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Just the feature race, the final. There is nearly $19,000 on this particular race. Bright green flag in the air. Lining up now for a start. George Tatnall off the pole, Phil March on the outside. Danny Smith in third place, Max Dumsney on the outside, second row. Green flag in the air, they're down to the white line, and Tatnall's hit the button and the car's gone completely off the ground, and Phil March has gone. We'll have to see if it's a good start as they go up the back straight. No yellow lights on, so they're all safety through turn one. And the noise is absolutely deafening here as they come down the main straight. It's Phil March has stolen the lead in the 1989 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Danny Smith has hooked into second place. Max Dumsney back to third, and the pole setter George Tatnall has been caught napping. He's back in fourth place. Doesn't look good for George at this point. We go back with the leaders. Number 7 has gone out. That's Gavin Mygrove for the West. He's our first scratching. So we go back with the leaders now, and we look up at the lap board, and 32 laps to go. Coming up on the board, and it's the youngster from South Australia. It's Phil March in the number 3 car. He's gone down the back straight, and Danny Smith in hot pursuit. Then we go back to Max Dumsney in the 5 car. George Tatnall in the New South Wales 5 car. We look back a little further, and we've got Bobby Tunks in the 54 car. Then we go back, and it's Johnny Walsh in the 75 car from New South Wales. Brett Lacey in behind him. Then we look at Tony Smith, the Tasmanian champ, and a little further back in the 8 car, and Brooke Tatnall in the New South Wales 8 car. He's further back in the field. We go back and we try to pick up the leaders. It's a number 3 car of Phil March with 29 laps to go this time, and Phil March lapping through in the high 12 seconds, looking great as he exits turn 2. Phil March, can he pinch this from the favourite Danny Smith and George Tatnall? I'm trying to pick up Gary Rush to see where he is at the moment. He started at the back of the field, and he's already got himself up about midfield. He's going really well, is Gary Rush. He's got himself up in about 9th position at the moment and moving forward. So we'll keep an eye on that little race from the back of the field. Now Phil March, he's starting to lap through the field, and this is making it very, very difficult because Danny Smith is one of the best traffic drivers in Australia and certainly in America. He's right up behind Phil March at the moment as they exit turn 2 in front of the terraces and up past the grandstand. So it's Danny Smith in full flight trying to wind down Phil March. He's got 25 laps to do it in, and he's ever so slowly sneaking up on the back tail bar of Phil March. So we'll check them out now as they come through, and this time it's 24 laps to go. So it's Phil March in front, Danny Smith in 2. Then we go back to Max Dumsney in 3, George Tatnall in 4. We've lost Barrows. Barrows into the wall. Bill Barrows head first into the wall in front of the terraces, and the race is about to stop at 24 laps to go. Right, green flag in the air. We're coming in for another start now with 25 lap sprint to the flag. Phil March leading them in, and he's hit the button very early and tried to get a break on Danny Smith. Gary Rush trying to pick his way up from the rear of the field. But it's Phil March. He's got away on Danny Smith once more, and Danny Smith lifted the complete front of the car off as he went up the main straightway. Max Dumsney starting to attack Danny Smith. Here's a bit of a turn up. Max Dumsney looking very, very strong at the moment in third place, and would he dearly love to win a Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. So as they come through now, it's a nice clean lap once more, and they've stretched right out. It's Phil March from South Australia. This is the guy that didn't go to the Australian title. He was a bit short of funds, and he'd dearly love to take out this race tonight. And Phil March coming down now with 22 laps to go. Still holding off a determined Danny Smith, and Max Dumsney. This is the best drive we've seen him right over the weekend. He's hooking up into third place. George Tatnell still back in 4. Then we go back to Brett Lacey in 5. So nothing's changed much except Gary Rush is on the move. Gary Rush has moved up almost behind Bob Tunks at the moment. He's gone past Johnny Walsh. Now this is a real turn up for Rush. All he needs is another restart a little bit later on, and it could help him. So we go back with the leaders. We've got Phil March out front, still looking strong, from Danny Smith in the number 9 car. And we're looking back at Max Dumsney in the 5 car in third place. Right behind him, Winfield Racing car, that's number 5, George Tatnell. Then we go back to Brett Lacey in the 26 car. Then back to Bobby Bunks in 54, and Gary Rush is right behind Bobby Tunks. So we'll stick with those first 7 or 8 placings. Now Colin Farr, the youngster from New South Wales, has called it a day, and he's pulled into the centre. He's back out on the track. He's okay. It looks like he just had a small problem there. Track's still looking pretty good, and the lap's starting to wind down. We'll look back. Right, we're now going to pick up Phil March, and Phil March goes through with 16 to go. Phil March. Danny Smith still can't make any impression on Phil March. And Phil March's car is extremely hooked up very well, because he lifts the front wheels off the ground every time he goes up the back straight. He looks really spectacular. The high bar gambler in full flight. Up the back straight once more, Phil March. Danny Smith starting to wind him in just that little bit again. Danny gets into the groove. He's got his front wheels off the ground too, so there's plenty of traction in that clay at the moment. Still Max Dumsney hanging in there in third place, and George Tatnell in 4, and Gary Rush has got lost a little bit. He's still in behind Bobby Tunks, but he can't do anything with him. Rush would be looking for another restart. There's no worries about that. So we're hanging there with Phil March. Phil March still holding off Danny Smith, and the lap's starting to run down. 12 laps to go this time as Phil March goes through. Danny Smith still can't do anything with him. Max Dumsney's gone through in 3rd. George Tatnell still in 4th, and Brett Lacey in 5th. Brett Lacey just got hung up with one of the tail enders, and he's not having a very good ride there at the moment. He's got underneath him now, got under Roy Wright, one of the tail enders, and Brett Lacey still on the move in the 1989 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Now Phil March is trying to hang a lap on Bobby Tunks. It's Gary Rush got under Bobby Tunks. That's a good move. Now here comes Phil March. Phil March is starting to catch up to some of the tail enders once again. Danny Smith gradually moving in on him. Phil March, a little bit of airspace between him and Danny Smith. It's still a great classic at the moment as the laps start to wind down, and this time as they come through it'll be 8 to go. Well, the big question is, can Phil March hang on for 8 laps from Danny Smith? Max Dumsney's just gone in underneath Tony Smith. He's still in 3rd place, and Tony's one of the tail enders. All the interest at the moment is back at the head of the field. And Danny Smith, all over the top of Phil March at the moment. They've got about 4 or 5 cars in front of them to go through. But March had a little bit of a break on him then as Brooke Tatnell got in the road. Now they've got 3 cars in front of them. And there goes Smith. He's gone underneath. Danny Smith leads the 1989 Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Here's March trying to get back in underneath him. It's a drag race down the main straightway. They've got Johnny Walsh and Bobby Tunks in front of them. Can't get through at the moment, and March still attacking. March has run into the side of Bobby Tunks, and it's just cost him a place. Max Dumsney now comes into 2nd place, so the whole field's changed. And there's only 4 laps to go. Right, we'll go back with the leaders. It's Danny Smith in front. It's Max Dumsney into 2nd place now. Phil March in 3rd place. Then we go back, and we've got a pile up. It looks like Rush is in trouble, and Lacey has got him. Now Rush is round, and it's a yellow light. So we'll go back and check them out now. We've got Danny Smith, this 4-lap dash to the finish. Danny Smith from the US of A out front. Max Dumsey right behind him. Phil March in there in the number 3 car. He's right behind him. Then there's George Tatnall. George Tatnall has gone back into 4th place. Gary Rush is starting in 5th position at the moment. So, boy, we've got the top 5 up here at the moment for a 4-lap dash to the finish. And Max Dumsey trying to attack Danny Smith, and he's right behind him. Well, this is going to be a real drag race to the finish, and Smith just lapsed a little as they come out of turn 1, and Rush was trying to pick up somebody else there, but it's Dumsey. Dumsey right on the back of Danny Smith. Rush trying his hardest to pick up George Tatnall, just can't quite get there. It's a line of 5 as they go around turn 1, turn 2. March has dropped off the pace a little. He made a boo-boo going around turn 2. Here comes Max Dumsey. He's got 2 laps now for the charge, and he's right over the top of Danny Smith. Rush has gone through Tatnall, so there's a turn up for the books. Here comes the white flag out. There's nothing between this. Certainly one of the most exciting finishes we've seen here for a long time. Danny Smith still holding off, half a lap to go. Here comes Max Dumsey. He's trying a run on the outside. Max Dumsey's got one last turn to do it, and he's right over the top of Danny Smith, and he's just missed out by a car length. Danny Smith's gone through. Max Dumsey in 2nd place. Phil March in 3rd. Gary Rush has got up to 4th. George Tatnall back in 5th. Johnny Walsh into 6th place. And boy, that was a most exciting race. Well, wasn't that great? What about putting your hands together, ladies and gentlemen? Danny Smith has done it again. The
Well, we get in the sack.
You get the sack to it.
Left arm through.
Left arm through. Beautiful green sack. That's it for the moment.
Bill, I've got something here you like. It's a check. Congratulations, pal. It's a tremendous drive, a tremendous effort, and anytime you can finish, you know, that close up to the top in a field like this, pal, you're getting real close. Congratulations. I mean, you know, go on to bigger and better things. Good luck.
Well, we're also glad you didn't get the Australian title, and I believe it was probably a bit short on bucks, and so you've been helping a big boost there again.
Yeah, well, we never planned on going up there. We planned to come down here. We consider it just as good or better race. Congratulations to Max and Danny. I'd like to thank Dad for helping me out. And John Lewis, Maxwell Motors. Thank you.
And here comes the big trophy, the 3rd place trophy. Looks magnificent. Well done, Phil March.
Charlie. Well, are we allowed to spray that?
And also goes with that is the bottle of champagne from the Harbour family. Once again. So you're really loaded up there, Phil. Okay, well, you kept your voices really good for this one. Because this guy, he's always tried to do it in front of his home crowd. We still call it home crowd, even though he's moved to Sydney. What about putting your hands together? The 2nd place home tonight, the Grand National 3-car classic, the 1989 Victoria Finals, Max Dumsey! Really popular boy here at Grand Speedway. And he's going very hard tonight. There goes the big red sash.
Thank you.
And Max will now like to introduce you to Mr. Garcia Curio, acting on behalf of Gavin Rowe from Barnes Sawmill.
Yes, it gives me great pleasure, Max. You're a Victorian, and I'm a Victorian, and we've come down here to Warrnambool to really do a heck of a job to run 2nd, and I'm quite sure this check is going to help you achieve some of your future goals, and possibly that includes being the winner here at a classic, but you're well on the way. Congratulations, tremendous drive, tremendous courage, and best of luck to you, pal. I like to see guys that can put it out like you do. Good luck.
Thanks, Bill.
Well, Max, you might have had a run of the ups lately, but you've got it all together tonight.
Yeah, well, I've got to be happy to let's finish with that in the classic, and it's got to be the closest we've had. It was rather good. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure the guys are happy too. We sort of had a little bit of upset in our last heat. We sort of looked like not even sort of making the show there for a minute. I thought we were going to be head first in the wall, but we managed not to. Got it going. They did a good job. The car handled excellent. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors, Valvoline, Oval Track for putting the car together, Bowen Sawmills for sponsoring the event, and all the guys that helped. Thanks a lot.
Well done, Max Darcy. What about we do? Okay, we've saved it all for the guy who won the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic. Now, he had your chance to booing this time. I want you to be really very good sports and show that we can do it right in Australia. This guy is really thrilled with over the years. Keeps going back to Australia. The mission this weekend was to win 3 classics on the trot. He's done that. Yeah, come on. Be fair about it. Want a big cheer for USA Norman, Danny Smith. There goes the big blue sack. And here comes the most important part.
Well, Danny, first of all, there's been only 2 other drivers, or 3 drivers rather, that won 2 races in a row. There was, of course, your great adversary here is Mr. Russ, and he's won 2 in a row. And Jack Hall's child won 2 in a row. Nobody's won 3. And to come here against the talent that was displayed here today and yesterday, and to come out and win the 3rd classic in a row, stamps you as one hell of a driver. Congratulations. And we're going to see a hell of a lot more of you. And I know you're going to come back here again to Warrnambool, and perhaps next year you might be standing here again, but that's pushing yourself. Anyway, good luck, Jeff. Congratulations, and a hell of a good drive, a gutsy drive. I like that. Good luck.
And the champagne, of course, is the Harper family once again. Well, Danny.
Can you hang on to that, too?
You got there, Danny, but, well, what about Dennis Barr? Doesn't he need some nice equipment?
Yeah, he's the main reason I'm standing right here. He steps out of his car, puts me in the best equipment that money can buy, and Alan Phelps building a good motor, and Lander Toyota sponsoring us, and Scotty McNorton with the Carry tires, and everything just fell into place. I was kind of worried there the whole race. I wasn't handling real good, but I just kind of hung in there and stayed with him, and when they got in traffic, slipped by and just hung on to the end. So, yeah, it's nice to win 3 in a row, going to the record books doing it, and I'm proud to do it right here at Warrnambool.